All right. Hey, here we are back again. James Donaldson, Standing Above the Crowd podcast, coming to you live from Seattle, Washington, every single Thursday afternoon, 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. And we come at you live, and you can watch the show on YouTube and various other platforms out there where you get your podcast. So check that out also. If you want to see the video, though, got to go to YouTube. A lot of the other ones are just audio, and that's fine, too. But hey, I want to say what a fast-paced week this has been. Seems like I just talked to you yesterday. And, but it's still the new year. We're still in January, although we're getting to the end of it. But still a new year for everybody to go ahead and make 2026 the best it can possibly be. We got some announcements here. I got to scroll up because I got some messages there. Some announcements for today. And by the way, we're coming to you from Rainier Avenue Radio, right here in beautiful downtown Seattle, like I like to say. All right. So some announcements. The Call to Conscious Black History Month Museum opens here at Columbia City in Seattle at the Columbia City Theater starting next month on February 14th on Thursdays and Friday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to Call to Consciousness.world for tickets. All right, that's the first announcement. Second announcement, make more community broadcasts like this possible by donating at Venmo at Rainier Avenue Radio or at rainieravenueradio.world/donate. Okay. That's how you make these community-based broadcasts possible. We need your support to get the word out. And we've got a whole slew. I don't know if you've ever seen the lineup for Rainier Avenue Radio, but dozens of presenters all through the week, Monday through Friday, if not 7 days a week. We always got something going on, and it's a lot of great content for you. All right. So again, this is James Donaldson, and I am the executive director for Your Gift of Life Foundation. This nice little logo behind me here, that's kind of my new logo for the year. A little cleaner, kind of, a big heart shape about what life is all about. And it's the foundation. We really focus on a lot of mental health awareness, suicide prevention work, which is so desperately needed in this country, especially at this time. The angst and anxiety that is going on in our country, be it political or cultural or racial or just anything you want to throw on it. We are such a divided people, it seems like, and we need to come together. But that only really, increases our mental anguish and our mental stress. And so we got to find a place to kind of tone it down, get that temperature down a little bit so that we can, realize that we're all in this together, and we need each other. So today, I'm going solo today. Usually I have a guest, but today I wanted to go solo because I have a little something I want to share with you as well. I think some of you know that I am a published author of a couple of books that have been out. One about 10 years ago, the other one about 2 years ago. And I do a lot of ebooks as well and Kindle books. My latest Kindle book is right up on Amazon. Just type my name in the search bar and it'll bring you to dozens of Kindle books that I've uploaded over the months and years. This is my latest one, Awaken Your Inner Leader. Okay. Leadership is one of those things that I know a lot of us feel like we could never be in that position and we don't want to be. But check out this book here. It gives you a lot of great insight on how to be a leader and how anybody, all of us, have the ability to be a leader at some point in your life. All right. But also, you can take that slide down, Daniel, if you want. One of my published books, not a Kindle or ebook, is an actual published book. Standing Above the Crowd. I don't know if we can get that in there, but Standing Above the Crowd. You'll see it on the background for Rainier Avenue Radio. You'll see my book cover up there, Standing Above the Crowd. And that's all about executing your game plan to be the very best you can be. All right, whether it's sports, life, community work, all kind of things that you want to do in life, you can stand above the crowd and be really good at what you're going to do. So I want you all to be able to do that and make this life. We only go around once. Make this life as best and as purposeful as you possibly can. So today I'm going to talk about leadership and what that's all about. Okay. I think most of you know I used to be a small business owner for about 28 years, a brick and mortar business. Now a lot of these businesses are internet based and virtual and all that. I've got that going now. But for 28 years, I ran the Donaldson Clinic, which is a physical therapy, outpatient physical therapy clinic, orthopedic physical therapy. So we did bones and joints and muscles and backs and shoulders and knees and all those kind of things for 28 years. I was the owner of that business, thus the name, the Donaldson Clinic. We were located in 5 different locations at one point, and had employee staff of 60, 70 people scattered throughout those locations. The main big corporate headquarters was up in Mill Creek, Washington, just north of Seattle, about 30 minutes or so. Had another one out there in Mukilteo, which is just kind of east of Mill Creek, but about the same distance up north. Very nice neighborhoods, very nice communities to have a business going for that long. I had a business also in the central area of Seattle on 23rd and Jackson, 22nd and Jackson, right in the heart of the African-American central community right here in Seattle. That was by far my favorite. I mean, I loved being part of our community and giving back and being that positive role model that I wanted to be and I needed to be, and, sure enough was. Another location was on the hilltop in Tacoma, another historically Black community on the hilltop. And we were there for about 7 years, doing the same work we did in Seattle. In these 2 locations, I was back and forth between the most. My corporate office up in Mill Creek, it ran with a great office manager I had, Rosemary Bennett, who did a great job for 28 years. From day one to the very last day, she was with me, making all this work for me. And I was able to be that kind of leader that I always thought I could be. But leadership just doesn't come naturally. I mean, some people, you say you're a born leader, but, there's a lot more to leadership than just being a leader. You got to have the personality, the character, the fortitude, the determination, the ability to lead people and persuade people and to praise people. I mean, that's a lot of things all wrapped up into one to being a really good leader. I learned that at the hands of a lot of my great coaches through the years. In my 14 NBA years, I played for 4 Hall of Fame coaches, I believe. Lenny Wilkins, let's see, Pat Riley, Jerry Sloan. There's another one in there somewhere. So I know I played for all these coaches. And, I learned so much from all of them. I mean, they really taught me. The other one, Dick Motta, who's not in the Hall of Fame, but he ought to be, and sure enough will be one day. Dick Motta was the other one. All these coaches, they're all winners, and they knew how to lead a team. They knew how to get us all together on the same on the same page and move forward to a common goal and push us beyond what we thought we could do. That's what a leader does. They get the best out of you. And in my book, Standing Above the Crowd, I printed out a little excerpt here today. And, I don't want to read to you and blah, 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 but I do have to glance at it from time to time. All right. Leadership. Maybe it's your turn is the title of the chapter in the book. Okay. Leadership. Maybe it's your turn. And it opens up with a quote. The mark of a good leader is not how many followers he has, but how many other leaders he creates. All right, think about that. My coaches created me. to be a leader. And hopefully you can learn a little something from today, and I can help create you to be a leader, inspire you, motivate you to be a leader as well. And that's what I really wanted to get across today. Everyone's starting out this new year with good intentions, with hopes of aspirations and being better and bigger and all that. And some of you will have the opportunity to get into that leadership role. And how are you going to do it? Are you ready? Are you prepared for it? And so the chapter goes on to say, when you think of leadership, what images come to mind? Okay. I'm an old military brat. My dad was in the Air Force for 20 years. And so I was around that military life and those rankings and platoons and the structure and all that. My dad was a staff sergeant for, all those years in the Air Force. But the Army, the military has leaders. They have to. You got to have a hierarchy. Who's in charge? Who's the ultimate person in charge? We think in our political system. We like it or not, we only have one president at a time. And even though we may or may not feel like that's our guy or that's our gal, they are the leader of the country. And I started getting politically active back in, I don't know, just coming out of the Ronald Reagan years, but not really so much. The Bush years, I remember a lot more. The Clinton years, of course, Obama, Trump, Biden, and now Trump again. These are all the leaders of our country, the executive directors, the executive level of things that go on. The buck does stop with them. Your teachers are your leaders in your classroom. You've got your teachers who got to kind of keep that little class corralled and, on the same page and doing the homework and getting their work turned in on time and getting graded for their work so they can advance to where they need to be. So all those kind of, in the community, your pastors are great leaders of the community, of the church. The churches have their leaders as well. So leadership is everywhere. And really, it's something that any of us can get into if we really want to give it a try. And so one of the things I wrote about is that, when I was a kid, my dad, as I mentioned, was in the military, and he went away to military training for about a week or so. I was only about 10 years old. And I remember him coming up to me and telling me, Jamie was my name back in the little childhood days. Jamie, hey, you're going to be the man in the house while I'm gone. I'm like, whoa, I'm 10. He grabbed my little lapels. He said, hey, you take care of your mama, you take care of your brothers and your sisters, and you're going to be in charge. And I said, wow. That gave me such a sense of responsibility and grown upness, if that's a word, all of a sudden at 10 years old, to be put in that position, to have to report back to my dad when he got home that everything was going to be okay. Now, being 10, I do have some limitations. I can't only do so much, but to watch over things and make sure everything's going as he would have it go if he was home with us. And that really started at that point to instill with me what leadership was all about. And, we get our different tastes of leadership along the way. Gangs have leaders, of course, a gang leader, mob, crime outfits, syndicates. So every group has a leader that is going to be in charge, and everybody's going to look up to that person for leadership and guidance. And so how about you? What can you kind of get in a position of leading? Your home, your family. If you're, you're a married couple, you're the head of the household. You got kids, you're leading them, you're raising them to be the best that they can be and how you want them to be. You're setting it to be as a role model. And so that's very important as well. So all of us are leading, whether we realize it or not, in some regard. Okay. And we can expand that out as big as we want to. Just about anyone can be a leader, it says here. But it does take confidence, something that everyone can work at. All right. You can work at your confidence and getting more confident. And it does take being knowledgeable in the given subject that you're trying to be a leader of the group. Okay. I was real shy as a kid, introverted, kind of nerdy, not very athletic, stayed home all the time, watching TV, playing with my G.I. Joes, playing in the backyard. That was it's the kind of kid I was. I didn't have a whole bunch of confidence at that point. But when my dad put his hands on my lapel and said, "Hey, Jamie, I want you to watch over things." Whoa, that was great. That was a great thing for me. And so I encourage everyone to take your turn of being a leader. You have it within you already to be a leader. Okay? Don't think that you don't have it. You can do it, but you've got to be able to reach down. You've got to tap into your inherent leadership skills and put them to use. I'm still reading from my little chapter in my book. Okay? Tap into your inherent leadership skills. They're already there. Just tap into them. The first few times you take on a leadership role, it's going to take some nerve and some courage. Are they going to like me? Are they going to respect me? Are they going to listen to me? Are they going to follow me? But once you get the hang of it, it starts to become second nature. All right? And so I want you all to at least try that much, grow a little bit outside of your little comfort zone. And you'll get the hang of it before you know it. Try little things first, such as taking the lead among a group of friends. Okay, you get together with your friends every day, and you've got time to, shoot it back and forth with them. Somebody comes up with a great idea, you come up with another great idea and say, "Hey, this is why I think we should follow my idea." All right? Give your pros and cons to it. And maybe you take the lead on a project that your group always wanted to do. I belong to several groups around town, Rotary being one of them. Rotary is a small civic-minded group that does a lot of great things in the community. And to be able to get all of us together to work on different projects in the community, whether it's working at the food bank or picking up trash in the intersection, painting signs, handing out different things at the farmers markets. Rotary is great for that. And, most of the folks in there are natural followers, but it's easy to be a leader of that kind of group because they want to do good. They just want somebody to show them the way, right? And so how do you handle leadership responsibilities when they come your way? Do you run and hide and shy away from them? And how strong is your ability to work and be part of a team? One thing sports taught me is, it's all about teamwork. There were times I was, the best player on the team. There were times where I was the worst player on the team, but I was still on the team. I'm still doing my part. My role might be a little bit more significant and more important when I'm the best player, but even the lesser players have supporting roles that are very instrumental to the success of the team. Okay. And we all got to do our part. Everyone seems to have these fears. They're not going to like me, or I'm a little bit too shy, or I don't know what to say. My notes here: public speaking is said to be the number one fear. I'm talking to you guys right now, all right, on a camera. And I just got to know beforehand what I'm going to say. I can't just get up here and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to lose you. Public speaking is a fear for everyone. It was fear for me. I remember I took my first public speaking course back at Washington State University as a freshman, and standing up there in front of class and trying to address the class. I'm staring out the window, off to the side, because I can't stand to look at anybody in the audience. And I had to get over that. The instructor would say, "No, James, hey, you've got to face the audience. You've got to talk directly to them. You got to make eye contact with them. These are all things that you got to learn. Once I was able to learn that, well, I do public speaking all over the place now, and don't even think about it. It comes second nature, and these things do become second nature for you once you get the hang of all of these things. I'm finished up my little chapter. I want to talk a little bit about I wrote here, my all-time favorite basketball coach was New York Knicks coach when I was with the Knicks, Coach Pat Riley. He had a way of supercharging us up in the locker room before every game with all kind of motivational and inspirational tactics. He made us feel like we were going to go into combat, and we were on an all-out war in every game, all 82 games. You know, we didn't have that little dog day of the January, dog days of February during the NBA season. We played hard all 82 games throughout the season for Pat Riley. We'd holler and, we'd be like the football guys. You see the football guys when they chest bump and they're pushing, and hey, the New York Knicks were like that. And I was on the team with Pat Riley, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, John Starks, Greg Anthony, Xavier McDaniel. So we had some big guys, big tough guys. And we'd be in the hallway before the game, chest bumping and pushing and bouncing off each other and just really getting revved up. I mean, this is what Pat Riley got us to do with each other, and pound on each other and on our way out to the basketball court. And then the players, the coaches, the trainers, and even the ball boys would all get caught up in this contagious enthusiasm from Coach Riley's pep talks. A true leader. And I learned so much from him. It was so great to be part of that. So I just wanted to share those kind of things with you. I think we can go to another slide here. I think, Daniel, so I can right click. Oh, Dang, you may have to do this. How about my business card, the back image of that business card there, if you can put that up. Okay. I mentioned my book, Standing by the Crowd. It's still available on Amazon. But if you want a signed copy, go to yourgiftoflife.org. There'll be a button right there where you can order it directly from me, and I'll sign a personal copy for you and drop it in the mail to you. Amazon will drop it in the mail too, but they're not going to sign it for you, and they can care less about you. I at least care about you. So go to the website, yourgiftoflife.org, and hit me up with it, and I'll put it in the mail the next day for you, okay? Daniel, how about one of our next slides? Doesn't matter which one. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. These are 25 ways to build confidence on your team, okay? It's a little bit small for me to read. Is there any way we can build that out a little bit, Daniel? If that's not the case, that's okay. All right, but we do have 25 ways to build confidence on your team. Let me go back to some extras of my book here. In my Kindle book I just produced, the one Awakening Your Inner Leader, that's all about being on a journey to uncover the secrets of effective leadership and empower you to unleash your full potential as a leader. Let's define leadership, okay? This is in my, you can go back to that book cover there, Daniel. This is on my Awaken Your Inner Leader Kindle book on Amazon. Again, just go to Amazon, type in my name. It'll pull this up along with all the other books I have listed up there. Scroll through them all. You'll find Awaken Your Inner Leader. Firstly, let's define leadership and its significance. Leadership is not just about holding a title or position of authority. It's about inspiring and influencing others to achieve a common goal. All right? A true leader is someone who leads by example, motivates others, fosters collaboration and growth. Leadership is essential in all aspects of life, whether it's in the workplace, the community, or personal relationships. It's about stepping up and taking the initiative and making a positive impact on those around you. That's what leadership is all about. Okay? You don't want to go through life just always being in the back of the bus, always being on that canoe, sitting in the back and not rowing. You want to get up front and take some charge once in a while. And you can do that. What's it take to be a really good leader? Self-awareness and emotional intelligence are key. You have to know who you are, okay? Because people can see right through you. They can see right through you if you don't know your stuff, if you're not authentic, if you're not genuine. They can see right through this and say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm switching the channel. All right? So be authentic. Understanding yourself and others and managing your emotions and building strong relationships is what leadership is all about. Number 2, communication and influence. Mastering the art of communication, building rapport, and inspiring others to action. Okay, is all about communication and influence. Number 3, decision making and problem solving is what leaders do. Making sound decisions under pressure. Whoa, okay? Solving complex problems and balancing intuition with analysis. All right? We all get that gut feel, but you also have some factual information in place as well. Gut feel will get you that intuition, but it may or may not be on track. So make sure you have some facts to back up what you're talking about to your team as well. Number 4, the last one, resilience and adaptability. Building resilience to overcome challenges, adapting to change, and bouncing back from setbacks is stronger than ever. Okay? We're all going to get knocked down. The key is get yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on going. So leaders fail far more than you realize. But those who don't even try can't even begin to think about that. But leaders finally master that, and they get going out there in a big, big way. And so I wanted to share all those things with you today and just say, hey, this thing about leadership is real deal. I want all of us to have that opportunity to say, I'm going to be the best I can be, and I'm going to lead to the best of my ability. All right? Take that with you throughout the rest of this year. Make something of your position in life. You can do it, and you will. And so until next week, this is James Donaldson, Standing Above the Crowd podcast, Rainier Avenue Radio, coming to you live from Seattle, Washington. Join me again next week for another big, hefty show of great things for you to share with you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Adios.